Yes. All right. I just want to talk about three things, and that is KFC. How many of you have heard of KFC? KFC, right? Kentucky Fried Chicken. But I was thinking, and reflecting on my own teaching this semester, not reflecting on others' teaching, because something happened 2 weeks ago. Ravi will say something in a minute. Ravi doesn't know this, but that I'm asking him to say something, but he might. Okay, something happened a few weeks ago that actually made me think about the K in the KFC. And the K stands for knife edge. What does knife edge mean? Knife edge is about dealing with that information asymmetry. The information asymmetry between you and the students. Often we go into lectures, we know everything, but we don't know what the students know. And often we're afraid to take risks with the way we teach because the feedback we get from students may be negative. And then it goes into the SETU score. And so you pull back from that knife edge, you stay on the safe side. You stay on the safe side of that tall building because you don't want to fall off. You hang on to that building for dear life. You know that, all right? Knife edge is about going to a stage where you actually get close to intimidating students because you actually got, number one, first of all, you got their attention to get that close, all right? But you don't push them too far where they feel threatened, all right? So it's a very thin line between intimidating and threatening. Sometimes intimidation is a good teaching tactic because it gets their attention. It's a way of getting their attention that the internet cannot get the attention of. It's a safe tactic because you're not putting them to the edge of a building to fall over. You're in a sandbox when you're teaching. Being on a knife edge is about taking risks and actually trying something new. And a lot of us don't do that. We teach what we taught last year or the same way we taught last year. We stay behind the lectern, try to make everything clear. We need to take more risk. So, this semester I've been teaching international global supply chain management to the MIB students. I have 44 of them. And I decided to be raw with them. What do I mean by raw? It doesn't mean I have no clothes on. Raw meaning, class, I'm here to deliver stuff that I have seen dozens of business people lose tens of thousands of US dollars because they are not doing what I'm teaching you today. That's the raw that I was talking about. Not necessarily theoretical, but real business practice that I've seen. And then I'll go around the group. We'll go around the class. And I'll ask them, okay, three things. The most important that VF Corp thinks about when they're managing their supply chain around the world. And they'll go and put it up on the whiteboard. I'll go, wrong, wrong, wrong. Very intimidating like that. I don't say to them, oh, it's nearly right. You nearly got it right. You know, I was intimidating. I have to be, because wrong means you've just lost a bucket load of money. If you're a buyer, if you're managing that supply chain. Wrong means you've just lost a supplier. Or wrong means you're going to get a lawsuit from a customer because your supplier isn't CE registered, because the supplier doesn't have UL certification and you're the importer of record into the USA. Wow. And I was raw with the students. And I've been doing this all semester until week 7. Ravi, what happened? Just give us a brief summary. What happened?
This was students feedback. Community school feedback. They found feedback. Maybe having a very good point. You see someone say something, okay, that's a point. So I think they have a bit the magic form.
I've been using the magic form, but a group of students went to see Ravi.
This is the feedback.
Yeah.
They're saying like even the magic form, I want to have you say magic form, yes, given to us, but because it's given towards the end, this sort of question, just fill up the form.
Yeah, so there's a different bit of feedback. And so Ravi came to see me one Saturday, and I was sitting down ready in my office. That Saturday, Ravi knocked on my door. Oh, I can't talk to you. Yeah, okay, so tell me nothing. oh my gosh, what's going on? You know, because I've been using the Magic Formula all semester, and I paid for an RA to sit in my class, sit up near the front, and then we've got the class, all the chairs, and you sit in the same chair, and there's a circle for every one of you, and they all get a different traffic light at the end of each class, 3 different levels. And then we put that into participation. So some of them felt intimidated by that. Some of them felt intimidated by maybe my demeanour, maybe. And so there are different ways we're doing it. Yeah, so I'm thinking, wow, you know. Yeah. Yeah, but so we just want to say, like, this is the knife edge I'm talking about, where you actually push the students, all right? You're pushing the students in your energy and emotion. It's not your brain it's not your mental that's pushing the students, it's your mental plus your emotion that you're bringing into the classroom, which we want everyone to do. All right, but this is something you've got to trial and error and find out, you know, where the students are, where you can actually touch their pain points. And for some of them, I did. So I go into the class in week 8 and I toned it down a little bit. I backed off. I was a little bit quieter. We taught everything. We did the magic form at the end of the class. The feedback. Oh, Connor, where were you tonight? Where were you? We love your energy. What are you doing? You know, I tell all my friends about you. This class is so different from everyone else. You know, and so, but this is the knife edge that I'm playing with in my class this semester. I just want to show you that. I don't want to give you theory. I just want to explain to you what I'm experiencing. If I tell you, use more emotion, go for it in the lecture, it's because I'm doing it myself. And I'm challenging myself within the capability that I have, which may be a different level of you, it doesn't matter, you see. But we all got to challenge ourselves to be on that knife edge. It's like consulting. I learned from a very famous consultant one day. I was in his program and he said, Neil, when you go into an organisation consulting, you've got to be on the knife edge. It's only when you get to the knife edge that you find out what the real problem is in the organisation. Because when you first go to the organisation said, oh, we've got this problem with how we deal with the customers and, you know, can you give some training for the employees and blah, blah, blah. But then you find out that there's a lot of politics and backstabbing going on, and a lot of organisational stuff going on. And this consultant has got himself kicked off consultant projects because he went to that knife edge. To not just listen to, well, here's the problem that we've got to solve, but to actually go deeper and find out what the problem is. And then customers were coming to him and said, oh, we don't want all this we don't want all this hard facts and report stuff, we want all the soft stuff. Because the problem in our organisation is we've got backstabbing, we've got politics, we've got all that. We want you to deal with that and help people get their mindset in order. And that's what I learned about the knife edge. And sometimes we've got to do that with students. We've got to find, where are the students? Where are they in terms of what we're teaching them? And that is a constant thing you have to do week in, week out, week in, week out. You cannot just figure it out in the first week, like what I'm doing, you know? I just push. Suddenly, week 7, knock on the door of Ravi's office, you know? And so I see that as a positive. And we'll go back in. I might be a little bit more intimidating in the next class. Just push it a little bit more, right? Because that's what makes a memorable class. Because you got the attention of students. I didn't threaten them. Okay, they didn't say that Ravi don't threaten. No, I'm not saying you threaten students. I'm talking about intimidating them in terms of making them think about what you're teaching. All right, and not laying down the law. This is this. All right, rather than a policeman. But the way I did it was raw, and I'd say, class. You can see my YouTube video in my first week. They're on YouTube now. We've got 8 weeks up there now. In the first week, I said to the class, what you're going to get me, I'm going to be very intimidating in this class. I'm going to give you raw problems that buyers have when they're dealing with suppliers. You will not read this in a textbook. Some of you may feel intimidated, but this is stuff that will save you big money in the future if you're in supply chain management, if you're in a procurement team. And that's how I preference that. Maybe I should have done that at the start of every class. You know, put that disclaimer at the start, like everyone else does. Okay, so that's the knife edge. Knife edge is something that I push myself to. Okay, number 2, focus. This is a mind thing. Last year I talked about focus. What do we mean by focus very, very quickly was just doing one thing at a time. One thing at a time. you cannot do more than one thing. Go in the office, lock the door, and work on that one thing, that one project, that one paper. You don't feel like working on a paper for the day, at least just spend half an hour just reading through that introduction again. Why? Then stop, then go do the other things in your day because you don't have time to spend all day on it. Fine, because what happens is by doing that one thing for just half an hour, 1 hour maximum, it gives your brain something to munch on for the day. All right? Because what will happen if you don't look at your paper every day for half an hour, 5 days later, it's going to take you 3 hours to get back into it. All right? So you're going to use up that time anyway. Yesterday I was on the bus. I spent half an hour reading through a paper, and I put it away, and then after that, the movie's going on and everyone's happy and all that. And my brain's, and I'm thinking, it got me thinking, that's that, because I fed the brain something. I didn't have to be reading for 3 hours. You don't have to spend a block of 3 hours to get work done every day. Just give that brain something to work on for half an hour. That's what focus, all right? Chunk it. That's the one thing I teach that I'll teach that another time about how I teach students to chunk their presentations so they can keep in time and keep interacting with the audience. But the last thing I want to leave you with, and then we go on to the meeting, and that is commitment. This is something, I want to share something that pushed me. There's this consultant in Hong Kong that I got to know. He appears on Bloomberg from time to time, and I was involved in his company at one stage. And whenever I see him present, I'm thinking, oh man, I've got to do something better now. I've got to do something more. Look what he's doing. I need to do something. It pushes me. It forces me. Maybe it's an ego thing. Fine. Ego works. Make it work for you in your benefit. But find someone that tests you. Find someone that subconsciously makes you think, I need to do a little bit better. This person was there this year. Now they're there this year. What am I doing? Find that person. Same university, same country, on the internet. I don't care. Find role models that will challenge your mindset. Everyone's different. Ben Simpendorfer is the name of this guy. He's been on Bloomberg. Paramed saw me one day in the staff room. Hi, Prof. I ignored you because I was watching Ben on Bloomberg. I was just watching him. And he's talking all about the Belt and Road. And I'm thinking, Neil, you've got to stay up to date with this. Maybe not that topic, but whatever your topic game is, Neil, you need to keep on pushing that game. We're all in an information game. We're in information warfare here. We're getting the attention of our students, of industry, or our associations we work in. So having that role model, it can just help pull you along or push you along. If it's your ego, they say, well, if they can do that, I can do that too. Find it. Ben Simpendorfer is that role model for me. He still is. 2 years ago, Ben Simpendorfer gave a presentation to Ancham in Hong Kong. How do I know? Because he posted on LinkedIn. And I'm thinking, that should be me. That should be me giving that presentation. It was a different topic, but I should be doing that for Ancham. And I'm thinking, I know more about supply chain than him. He knows about Belt and Road. He knows about different countries, but I know about supply chain. Okay, so the next day, I rang up Ancham. I want to do a presentation for you on the China 2025. Knew very little bit about it. They said, oh, okay. And this was January. I said, oh, can we fit you in end of February? Fine, let's do it. Bang. So the next 6 weeks, I figured out a way of getting expert and doing a presentation. I gave a presentation on the China 2025 plan to Ancham. Less than 7 weeks after I saw my role model present on his expertise. He pushed me. You've got to find people that push you. Not yell at you, mentally. That person, that person's doing something. I should be doing something. All right? Find that. And then as a result, at that China 2025, there was this lady in that presentation. That lady was a manager of global sources. The next day, she rang me up and she said to me, oh, Neil, I'd like our chairman. I think you did a really good presentation yesterday. I want you to meet our chairman. And my first reaction was, oh, I'm very, very busy. I've got lots of research to do. And I sort of hung up. Then I realised, wait a minute. The chairman of Global Sources wants to meet me. I'm thinking. So I picked up the phone. Oh, hello. Yes. Oh, so I'm available on Friday. Is Friday okay? Yeah, all right. Yeah, so I've got it. So I went and saw the chairman of Global Sources on the Friday. I presented on the Tuesday. So I went in to the meeting, and the first thing the chairman said to me, he said, Neil, how come I don't know you? Like, he's a world leader in global sources, you know, next to Alibaba in terms of online marketplace. The chairman saying to me, how come I don't know you? Because his underling came to my presentation on China 2025 plan. 7 weeks before that, I would never have given that presentation hadn't it been that role model, Ben Simfordorf, for pushing me. You see how things connect, and something connects to something else, something connects to something else. And that's what happened. And so I had a meeting with the chairman, went for 2.5 hours. About 2.5 weeks later, I was in a meeting with their CEO, the CFO and COO. And they're asking me about what I could do for them. So I ended up giving them some proposals. Oh, they like this proposal. Oh, we'd like to interview our startups. How much? We worked on a settled figure and everything. And then in October, I went and interviewed 50 startups, and they paid for everything. Gave me extra. It's amazing. Yeah, things move when you move. But it's hard to move when you don't have that external reference, that thing that gets you going, right? And for me, Ben Simfordorf, when I saw him on Bloomberg, I'm like this. Right, Paramis, you know? And I want to do it if I see him again. Neil, keep going. Look what happened last time when you did that. Okay, so I just want to summarise with real stories, not with theories. Okay, KFC. The commitment I made was ringing up Ansham. I want to present at the end of February. It was in 2016. Boom, bang. You make that commitment. Ring up your association. Make a commitment to present in the latest in your area. Industry impact, but that feeds back into your teaching. All right? And it may, draw the ire of students because you are intimidating with real stuff. Not threatening. You are intimidating with real life stuff. But let me tell you, more of the students will appreciate you because you are intimidating with the real stuff. Not because you